I would immediately call the President of Mexico, the President of Canada, to try to amend Nafta.
I raised doubts about Nafta. I said I would like to renegotiate it when I ran back in 2008.
I have helped lead the effort almost from my first days in Congress against Nafta.
NAFTA is the worst trade deal maybe ever signed anywhere.
We have successfully completed negotiations on a brand new deal to terminate and replace NAFTA.
A lot of politicians have said we need to renegotiate or just completely get rid of NAFTA. And candidate Donald Trump made the same promise. But now, as president, he's actually achieved that goal. So, what are the key differences between Bill Clinton's NAFTA and Trump's United States-Mexico-Canada agreement?
And didn't inhale?
First, cars. Under the New Deal, at least 75% of a vehicle's components need to be manufactured in North America in order for it to avoid tariffs. That's up from a previous 62%. Now, if more than a quarter of a car's parts are coming from China or Europe or wherever, it's gonna get tariffed. And then there's the manufacturing of car parts themselves. By 2023, up to 45% of a car's parts need to be made by workers making at least $16 an hour if they want to avoid tariffs. And that means those parts can't be made in Mexico, where workers make less than half of that. But Trump did make some concessions, promising that if he does enforce more auto tariffs, much of Canada and Mexico's vehicle production would effectively be exempt. Next up, farming. US producers are getting more access to Canada's dairy market, which is something American farmers have been asking for years. Canada protects its dairy producers by limiting the amount of foreign product that can come into the country, but under the New Deal, Americans have access to $580 million of Canada's market, up from $520 million. And then there's intellectual property. When Bill Clinton signed the NAFTA agreement, it was 1993, and no one knew what the internet was going to become or how it was going to affect the economy in general. In other words, it's outdated.
I took the initiative in creating the internet.
Under the New Deal, American innovators have more stringent protections for their patents, trademarks, and websites that are all enforced by American law enforcement. And that's huge because global rivals like China have been stealing intellectual property from American companies to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars every year. But the best part about this deal is everyone seems happy about it. President Trump called it, quote, wonderful.
Has a good ring to it.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says it's a good day for Canada.
Happy birthday, Canada.
And Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto says it'll turn our region into one of the most competitive in the world. Non-government officials are liking it too. The Heritage Foundation says the agreement modernizes trade for the 21st century. But the story isn't over yet. President Trump has negotiated the deal, but Congress still has to ratify it.